Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.
This is UMAR AHMED for IFL TV in association with MTK Global. I'm joined by Frank Warren. We've just seen Joe Joyce stop Daniel Dubois. Your immediate reaction to that, please, Frank?
Yeah, it was pretty strange, wasn't it? You know, but he had a terrible eye injury, and he's now on his way to the doctors. They sent him to a hospital, and then from there he's got to go to Moorfields, and they're worried about the nerve damage or socket damage. But Joe done a good job. It was all I always said before the fight. It was going to be a battle of the jabs. I fancied Daniel to win it, but he, you know, it was what it was. But the judges had two of the judges had Daniel winning. I thought it was very close going into that round, but they had him, both had him winning, and one had obviously Joe winning.
What were the scorecards, Frank, at that point?
I'm told, I haven't seen them, but I'm told one judge gave it to Daniel by. Had him 7 or 8 rounds up. The other judge had him Daniel up 2 rounds, and the other one had Joe up 2 rounds.
Okay. How did you see it?
I didn't think there was a lot in it. I don't think there was a lot in it. I think, you know, it was what it was. I generally thought it was a pretty close fight, and it was developing into those last 3 rounds. I thought were going to be something a little bit special. It was a great fight while it was lasting, but unfortunately, from Joe's point of view, he'd done what he had to do. From Daniel's point of view, there's no way he can continue. It's a bit like the other week. You think that fight we had at York Hall with Denzel and with Mark Heffron, you know, they pulled him out because of his eye. And I think that Martin would have pulled him out at the end of that round with that eye anyway, because he couldn't see it at all out of it. 2
of the scorecards there seemed fair. I mean, that one that had Daniel really wide, don't know what's going on there.
I don't. It was, you know. Was it the 9th round, wasn't it? Yeah,
was it the 9th, 10th?
10th round. There's no way that he'd won 8 rounds. No.
Did you think Joe was hurt at any point in there? I mean, his chin was absolutely rock solid.
He got clipped a couple of times, didn't he? But I think he was just, you know, he got caught. And so did Daniel get caught with a couple of good shots. He took the shots, as did Joe.
Daniel will be back, won't he?
Of course he's a baby. I mean, you know, I said to Joe, what was you doing when you was 22? He said he was still an amateur, obviously. You know, what was AJ doing at that age? He was still amateur. I mean, he's turned pro very young. He's learned. And if that eye injury weren't there, it could have been a different fight. Well, I mean, by a different fight, it'd have gone on. I'm not saying whether, you know, who would have won it or not, but it would at least, I think that, you know, it obviously wouldn't have hampered his vision, but it was what it was. But you cannot take anything away from Joe Joyce. Done a good job, and put yourself in a good position. So we'll be, you know, with both of them. Joe will be out next year. We'll be looking for big fights with him, and he'll probably be out again, probably in April. And Daniel will have him out as well.
How good was Joyce's jab?
It was excellent. I thought both their jabs were good. They both, you know, it was always going to be about that, about the jabs. And I thought Joe's jab was superb, and he kept getting it on point or on eye. He kept clipping his eye with it, and I thought Daniel, his jab was good as well. Both of them were very good. There was nothing in the fight. I mean, you could go either way. So he's 2 up or whatever, depending how you feel about the fighters. But it was a very competitive fight, and I thought it was a very absorbing fight. The shame is, I think it would have been even a better fight if there'd have been, obviously, if there'd have been a crowd there, because the atmosphere would have obviously lent yourself to it.
What's going to happen with the WBO, USYK and Joe Joyce now?
Then we'll have to see on Monday and give him a call. But look, it's not fighting. USYK's the mandatory to Joshua. So it's only if Joshua decides he's going to vacate.
Which could be likely to make that Tyson Fury fight.
Yeah, absolutely. We'll hope so. That's what we all want to see happen, isn't it?
Just a last word on tonight then, Frank?
I thought it was a good night. I thought Hamza done well. I thought he boxed well. It was a good finish at the end. I thought it was a decent night's boxing. And I thought the main event was a superb event.
And everyone talking. I'm sure everyone's going to be talking tomorrow morning as well.
Of course they are. And I'll tell you what a rematch it would make.
Yeah, possibility for next year?
Why wouldn't you? Why wouldn't those two guys want to get it on again?
With a crowd?
Yeah, be a great fight.
Frank Warren?
You'd buy a ticket for it, wouldn't you?
I'll buy 10 tickets for that.
Right, there you go.
Thank you very much, Frank. Thank you.
Good man.
Is your debt causing you sleepless nights? Knock your debt out with Debt KO. And your debt won't be the only thing keeping you up at night. Debt KO, free impartial advice on all your debt.